Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the beautiful sunshine. We thank you for all the birds and nature just rejoicing to be warm again. And Father, we thank you for this class, and I pray a special blessing upon it and all that we learn. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I'm pretty excited about this. And like I tell you guys, I get excited about anything that pertains to nature and herbs, Jesus. So I get excited easily. But we're going to be learning about herbal capsules. And I actually broke this down into just a few basic herbs because these are the ones I often think about. What are my go-tos? What do I actually use the most? What helps with the most issues? And I have found that these three are my go-tos. And because of that, we will be using just these. But first, I want to tell you guys about capsules. When we use herbal capsules, what do you know about that? What do you know about herbal capsules? Nada? Nothing. Do you know the size that you can use of the capsule forms? Okay. She's like small. Small. Yeah. There are different sizes you can use. In fact, I made sure to give you guys even a chart to know how to break that down. And when you're using capsules, you can use a tincture form. That means a liquid extraction of the herb, or you can use a powder form. You never want to use a whole herb form in there where you just crush it. Like if I put this inside of a capsule in here and then took it, it would not absorb into my body quickly. It would just sit there kind of just doing nothing. So we would break it down into a powder form, either by grinding it down or by using a coffee grinder. This coffee grinder grinds many herbs, has never ground coffee. It's very, very useful. So again, we use powder herbs, or you can use an extraction to put inside the capsule. And the capsule amount you need to take, or the amount you put in, is what we're going to learn. And each herb is going to vary. Like one herb might tell you you're going to need maybe 4 to 5 capsules to take at a time. Another one, you might need 5 to 10 to take at a time, depending on what you're doing. Some of them you might carry in here and just open it up to create a poultice to put on something or to put into a wound. And we'll talk more about that when we touch on cayenne pepper. And so I'm going to hand these out. Actually, I'm going to have Jenny hand them out. Now, Jenny's really good about using the chalkboard a lot. I'm not. So we are going to give this a try. I'm going to try it. All right. So on this, you can see right away that we're talking about the capsules and the number 0 and the number 00 capsules. I do not have, and I was looking all over my house, but I could not find my 0 capsules, which are bigger. I do have, or I think they're small. I do have these, my double O's. And these are the ones I use the most of. These are vegan. They are plant-based. They are not gelatin. I don't use animal-based products. They use animal product to create capsules, and then you're taking that in. So I make sure mine are plant-based. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. They do. They make capsules, and they make things out of animals, just about everything. So here,
the oil doesn't break down.
Depends on the kind you're using and the kind of capsules you're using. So the ones I'm using are just for powder forms. Okay. So I'm going to show you the two difference. So this is the double O. Or no, this is the O and this is the double O. I even kept the boxes with it so I wouldn't forget. And you can see, if you look up close, I'm going to move. So I am so sorry. Yeah, so that really helps to know, okay, so these will be the smaller ones. That's probably why I don't use it often, because I'm usually going for the
bigger ones.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you just the basics of it. Y'all will end up making your own to take home. But I'm going to tell you why we do what we do with what. The first one we're going to touch on is, what is this? It's charcoal. Black. Wonderful. But it's not the charcoal you buy in a grocery store and then you go cook your carne asada or your barbecue, your mushrooms or whatever you're going to put. It's not that kind. This is activated charcoal. Activated charcoal requires a high heat gas to be put at it to activate it. And we're actually going to have a class here soon on how to make activated charcoal. So one of the things we do teach. So this is activated charcoal. So what does that mean? Well, let's take a look at this paper. Will somebody read what it says about internally with charcoal?
Good.
Okay, somebody read that where it says internally activated charcoal properties internally.
It is pure carbon and will absorb, not absorb, but bind with 29 of the 30 most dangerous poisons, thus neutralizing them. Charcoal can also be taken to stop intestinal gas. It is also good for diarrhea.
Okay, so charcoal adsorbs, it doesn't absorb. Absorb means to take it upon yourself and absorb it in. Adsorb, it means it's going to grab it, bind it, and remove it. So it's going to grab the toxins, hold on to it. It won't stay in your stomach. It won't absorb it into it. So when you pass your stool, it will pass with it. That's what it means. So that's the beautiful part about charcoal. And it really works on so many poisons. If you want to induce that vomiting after someone has drank some poisons, mix about half a cup of this with a cup of water or more, and then have them drink it down. And it will absorb those toxins. It will keep, they'll actually use this in ER rooms, the emergency room, with people who've had taken in poison, drank poison. The other beautiful thing about this is that it pulls like bug bites, spider bites. One of my daughters actually is at home right now, and she got bit by a spider, and it was red and inflamed and starting to swell. You could touch it, and it was hot. And so we started a poultice right away with the activated charcoal, some aloe vera, and some tea tree oil. And we've been putting it on her 3 times a day, changing out the bandages. And it is going down, and it doesn't have the huge swelling, and it's not hot like it was earlier. So that's a blessing. But have you ever tried carrying some of this in your pocket or in your purse? I wonder. You have to put it on. Poison ivy is an external. I've got another one that would help with that. This is messy. It's really messy. If you've ever worked with activated charcoal, it is just messy. The minute you open it, it puffs up. The minute you put the spoon in, it puffs up. The minute you drop it into a cup, swirl it, it's going to puff a little. So it's a messy thing. When we put it in a capsule form, you're able to carry it better. And if you end up needing it for a poultice, you can open that capsule, mix it in with a little bit of water, aloe vera, and then put it on as a poultice with a bandaging. You can also open it up if you're needing to do right away. You want the charcoal to attack and go inside the bloodstream right away, do its thing. Then you're going to open up these capsules and you're going to mix it into some water and drink it down. You're going to have beautiful black teeth for a moment, but it will absorb the toxins faster. If you need it, like maybe you just are having a lot of gas pains, then you can take it in a capsule form because it'll release it and it will do its job. But we went to Mexico and I can't remember if we ate something or we were, she used the water. My daughter, we went down to Mexico as missionaries and she used the water to brush her teeth. And she was not feeling good. About 1 a.m, she was sick. She was sick. Oh, she had all of the symptoms of having drank the water down there. And I had activated charcoal on me. I had remembered to pack it with me. It was in my emergency kit that I keep in my car now, but it was in my bag. And so we were able to pull that out, mix it into a water bottle, and have her drink it down. She was fine by the next day, later that next day. And so that was a huge blessing. And it's wonderful to bring, not just for yourself. You never know who you're going to use it on, who might need help. And you're right there. And now that you know about activated charcoal, you can help them. So making some capsules and keeping it in your purse or in your car or in a safe, cool place actually is best so that you can use it for yourself and other people. The other one that's on the list, will someone read it? You see it where it says chamomile properties. So what kind of chamomile properties are there? Actually, Jenny, those are huge words. This is a vocabulary class now. We've just advanced you guys from very basic to advanced. Okay, we won't try using Goga? Something like that. So let's go with the next word. It's nervine, a sedative, carminative, diaphoretic, and a tonic. Okay, so nervine, what does that tell you right away? It works with your nerves. That's right. Sedative, it's going to work with those calm you down, it even get you sleepy. It's got, you can use it as a tonic on all these things. So what it affects, nerves, stomach, kidneys, spleen, and liver. So that's chamomile. That's this beautiful little flower, German chamomile. And that's what this one is. So chamomile is good for insomnia and nervousness. It increases appetite and helps those with weak stomachs. It reduces inflammation, aids digestion and sleep, and is useful remedy for stress, anxiety, and indigestion. So you were asking about like hives or poison ivy. It will calm the skin if you use it as a strong tea and make a wash for it. But there's another one, sassafras, that grows wild out here, and that combats poison ivy. So if usually you can find them close to each other, but you'd have to make a tea out of it and use it as a wash to have it combat. You can even drink it, small dosages of it, and it would help with the same thing. So chamomile, this little guy, I made a tincture out of it last time in our tincture class. Yeah, you have to come to the tincture class. And what we did was we soaked this in vegetable glycerin. And so it's safe for little kids. So you're not using alcohol extractions. It's very strong. And I actually like to use this for kids maybe who are having a hard time getting to sleep or being really fussy. So I'll make a tincture out of this and give them some drops around bedtime. And it just soothes them, calms them down, just gives them that peace that they're needing just before they fall asleep. And sometimes they're just fussy. Maybe too many people throughout the day. I have a grandson. He is an extreme introvert. He's only 16 months old. Too many people, he's done. He's going to have a fit. He's going to cry. And so a little bit of chamomile will calm him down and help him get that rest he needs. So it works for us too. And we're going to grind this down in a bit, and we're going to make capsules out of it so you can have that. And you can also empty those capsules out to make a tablespoon of tea in a 1 cup of hot water. So if you ever need to drink it, just calm a nerve too, you can do that. Or to make a wash out of it, if you're having a reaction of hives or other skin issues that you just need something to calm your skin down that's inflamed, you can also make a tea out of it, let it cool down, and use it as a wash. So just because it's in a capsule doesn't mean it has to stay in the capsule. You can use it many different ways. And that's the beautiful part about this, but it makes it easier to carry. Just don't let them get wet and don't let them overheat. And the other thing is you got to remember, because you're putting dry herbs, activated charcoal is the only one that will stay in there for quite a long time and be fine. But the other ones, you have to replace them. Some every 6 months and some within a year. So you really want to mark on your little bag or whatever you put it when those capsules were formed and then get rid of them in a year. Now, if it's cayenne pepper, I can guarantee you how my family is going to use it after a year. They're going to open it up and put it on their food and eat it. I'm just waste not, want not, right? Vamos a poner este arriba de arroz, frijoles, and comerlo. All right, so that's that one, and that is really chamomile. It's really safe for children. Just remember that this is This one and this one are safe for we people. All right, cayenne pepper. And notice I have a heat unit next to it. This is not your grocery store cayenne pepper. This is not you run into Walmart or Kroger's and you're going to find it, or Safeway or HEB or Yolks Pack and Save for those from the north. This is really high heat medicinal herb level cayenne pepper. So 90,000 heat units also allows it to cauterize a wound, to stop the bleeding and let it seal up so you will not bleed to death. And if you can't get to the hospital right away, which we've had moments where we're working with people and they've cut down to the bone and they were not near a hospital, but we had cayenne pepper and they could put it on and it stopped the bleeding. And that was a blessing.
There's a difference between like tasting it and putting it on a wound, like the burning factor.
It burns.
But it will numb it eventually.
It'll numb it. She's used it. She's one of the ones we've experimented
Does it
on.
burn and last
No.
like eating it, or is it just like not the same thing?
It's
when
not
I,
the
when I
same.
eat cayenne pepper, like it burns for a while.
For a while. It'll burn.
This medicinal one burns better. I don't know if we can say better.
It burns without the acidic burn.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the irritant, like when you sneeze and you open it, this one doesn't make you sneeze. It's just
That-
It's
burn.
different. Okay.
Yes. So if you're opening it and you're smelling it and you start sneezing and sneezing and sneezing and sneezing and sneezing, or you go to use it, it's usually not the medicinal
What
one.
is the difference?
I think it's the way they process
Is it
it.
like the species of or whatever? Not
I like-
species, but
I know what you're talking about.
Different,
Variety.
variety. Yeah.
I think it is. I can't give you that exact answer. It's actually left my mind the minute you asked. Why, Bree? So, but I will find out again and tell you, okay? And this way you can have
Or
that
maybe
info.
like when it's picked or something, because I know that's different.
You know, that's the same
Pepper.
thing. So yeah, that's a good point you make, because when you pick something, if you pick it past its time where it's putting out all the medicinal properties, then it doesn't have a high level of it. So like chamomile, if you ever buy it and you see that the flowers are all gone and it was opened, that's not good chamomile. You want it where the little white petals are still attached to it. That's when it's its most potent, just before it opens. The minute it opens, it's already done. All that beautiful potent properties, sedative properties are gone. They've already just put it all out in that flower. And so I wonder if it's the same thing with the cayenne, because I know a lot of the other herbs is that way. Once it puts itself out, it's done. So it could be. We'll find out. So in the cayenne pepper, it is a carminative, stimulant, antispasmodic, and astringent. It works and helps and affects the heart, the circulation, the stomach, and the kidneys. Now remember, we had a cooking class. Good blood equals good circulation, or plus good circulation equals good health. So good blood plus good circulation equals good health. And so here cayenne's helping the heart with circulation. It's a stimulant. And I'll give you a story about this one. A friend of mine was having a heart attack and he was far away from a hospital and he had capsules on him. He took a handful of those capsules and eventually got to a hospital. It saved his life. The doctor said that it kept that circulation going. It stopped the issues that were going to cause him to not be able to even drive himself to the hospital. Another friend of mine, he had his stomach, he was taking high dosages of ibuprofen because of the pain he was in, and he took too much. His stomach burst. And he had kept, his wife had always made him keep high active cayenne pepper on him. And so he took a handful of that. He says, as he's passing out, he remembered, as he was going out, he remembered to take this, and he passed out. He woke up in the hospital, and the doctor told him that's what saved his life, because he would have bled to death, but he didn't. It was the cayenne pepper that helped stop the bleeding. So that's pretty amazing stuff. So cayenne pepper is one of those things I like to keep on me. It's in my emergency bag. I used to keep it in a little bottle like this in my purse until my children got a hold of it and other people, and they kept putting it on their food at potluck or when we were in restaurants, and then it ran out. So now I keep it in capsule form. So when added to herbal formulas, cayenne stimulates the action of the herbs. It's a stimulant. So if you want it to go into your bloodstream and help get to your blood, heart or a certain body part faster, add cayenne. It also not only helps stop heart attacks, it's used for flus, colds, indigestion, and lack of vitality. This is one of those in the morning, if you can't get yourself going and you just need to get going, a warm cup of water with just, what do you think, Jenny, about a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and you drink that down. You're going to have your circulation going. You're going to feel it. You're going to get that get up and go. All right, Jenny, this is my slow start. And she drank some. How'd you feel?
Not much. More alert.
It gives you the alertness. It's helping to get that circulation to the brain. And that's your get up and go in the morning. And you want that. You want to be aware. You want that vitality. You want all that wonderful blood working for you. And so first thing in the morning, if you start with a little bit of cayenne, you get that get up and go, that alertness, and you're ready. It also warms you up in cold days. So add a little bit to a warm cup of water, drink that down, and it helps get you that circulation again, that warming effect. So on cold days, you can get that.
Also, strangely enough, peppers, eat peppers, and you're working outside in the hot sun, it'll actually keep you cooler. Just a little.
It's probably the circulation.
I don't know why, but yeah, every time I've eaten peppers in the hot sun, working out there, I don't get as hot.
That's
I
interesting.
eat meals with peppers, and a lot of peppers.
That's interesting.
As strange as it works that way, but it's like coconut.
I love coconut.
It does something to your blood.
It's a very interesting herb. It's good for treating the spleen, pancreas, kidneys, and it's effective as a fomentation for rheumatism, inflammation, can't say that word, sores and wounds. I put it in there, but I can't remember how to say that. Pleurisy. Thank you. Sores and wounds. So again, we've used this in wounds, and it helps stop the bleeding. So it's a great one. And then I notice I put down the powder form. So you'll take 1 to 2 number 0 capsules, and it says 1 to 10 grains. I forgot to take that out. 1 to 10 grains is a way of measuring, but I prefer using like teaspoons, weighing it out. It's just, for me, it's a better use of it. All right, so if you turn, you'll see this page. And this is a picture showing you the different capsules that are out there and their weight of it, the average weight, the typical volume, and the lock length. So that means once you open these up and you fill one up, you push it down to seal it. That's the lock length. So there's this length if it's sitting like this. Then it's if you just put it on top. But to lock it, you push it all the way down to it caps. And you'll feel that click. And that's the lock length it's talking about. And we're going to show more about that. So this gives you just an idea, and it shows you the different sizes. So you get an idea. It's not an actual measurement. It's just under or just over the actual size. But it helps give you an idea when you're looking around, getting a feel. I personally would hate to take that one. That is, I've had to take those before, the 000. No, thank you. That's a lot of water to chug down. It's too much. No, I can't do it. I prefer not to. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do this. And we're going to use the cayenne first. And so what I do, I put these in here. So say I'm going to do there, it holds 5. So I'm going to put 5 in. And I take off their heads, their caps. You can call it whatever you want. I always make up unique names for everything. So I'll take off its head, put its little body inside of there. And then you can sit there and put the stuff inside of it. So I'm going to use cayenne. But look at this cool thing. Because obviously it's sitting like this. I'm going to bring it to you. You can see it's just sitting on the top, right? And that's going to be kind of hard to fill. See that? It's just sitting on the top. So what we do is we take this, put these little pegs under it, like that. And now you can fill it without bumping into those little tops. And so that's what we're going to do. And then when you're done, you just drop it again, like this, and then you put the little heads back on, the little caps.
Keeps from the mess.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that pretty cool? So that's what we're going to do right now with cayenne pepper. And I do it over a plate or over a tray because you know it's going to make a mess. And with that mess means then now you got to clean up more stuff. And I want to keep as much herbs as I can. This one. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put it in here. So you saw I started with a teaspoon. This is a teaspoon. And I'm going to just fill it. Okay.
Oh, where do you get your cayenne pepper from somewhere, or do you?
You can buy it from a natural grocery store, natural grocers, or any of your natural stores. And you can buy it online.
And how do you know which one?
It says 90,000 heat units on it.
Have you tried like growing it and doing it yourself?
It hasn't been very accurate, so I want to make sure I have what I need. Hold on. So then I drop it. You can see now. So it's got.
Wow.
So now, because it has it in there, I'll shake it a little bit. Now I can put my heads back on there, my little capsules. And then I make sure that I pop them down so they lock. And you heard that? Or pop, pop, pop. And so now they're ready. So now you have capsules to take with you wherever you're going. So say now, let me put, you want to take a look at that? There you are. I'm going to empty this guy out. It's going to be a little spicy. I'll use the other side. I got 2 plates for this reason. Because I knew I was going to do charcoal eventually. But I think I'm going to do chamomile first before I touch charcoal because it's going to make a mess. Okay. So we're going to get some more. Now this one, I'm going to do the chamomile. And remember I said you don't want to use a whole herb. You don't want to put it in there because it's not going to work. It will take too long to absorb and you're just not going to have the response you really want. So what we're going to do, I'm going to plug in my little coffee grinder. I always forget that thing's upside down over here. I'll put some of this guy in here. Oh, just opening up the bag. What? That's a piece. No, it actually is from Germany. It grows wild in Germany, so German chamomile. We do have pineapple weed, Roman chamomile, and we have, it's pineapple weed and Roman chamomile. What was the other one? There's 2 that grow here, and it's mistaken often for the German chamomile. They have some sedative properties, but they're not very potent compared to the German chamomile. And the one that grows here is usually, I have not seen it around here. It does grow in Texas, but I don't know where, but it's normally up in the cooler climate areas. It grew everywhere where we're from. So I'm going to run this. What's our time looking like? We're doing good. Okay. All right, so you saw it go in like this, and now it's going to come out all fluffy. Let me take these guys and put them right there. Yeah, I'm going to let you smell it because this is like one of my favorite. Sweet, huh? Yes, I'll make a cake out of this, a sweet bread.
You can actually use it.
Oh, I bake with mine. You bring.
She makes like a cake bread kind of thing, sweet bread, and it tastes like banana bread.
It does. Muffins. So you can put it in muffin form, pancakes. Oh, it's so good. When I do make it in the cake form and I bring it to gatherings, the volume of the gathering will kind of go down. So I am letting you know. It's a calmer. So if you've got a high energy area, people do have a tendency to calm down a little more. So I'm just giving you a heads up. I don't want, Sister Gina forgot to tell me. No, she told. What? My energy is too high for these guys. My brother's telling me I need it. I already know my kids are always trying to get me onto something. I'm like, calm down, Mom. So I'm going to put this in there. I'm going to see Michael slipping this into Bree's food. I know what's up now.
I was thinking, I'm like, maybe what's up?
I'm on to you, Michael. I was like, it went quiet on his side. Thumbs up. I'm going to shake it. See if it will get down there. And see, more cayenne is still coming out of this. Isn't that crazy? Okay. So now that it is down there, I'll bring it back up. And you see that? They're nice and full. That just works great. And so now we can put their little heads back on. Those caps on. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to have to bring you my tincture when I make it. I've got a vegetable one actually. It's sitting there. It should be almost ready. And that's what I put also into my cakes. I put actual flowers. I make a strong tea and I'll use that water into my recipe where it calls for water. And then I'll do my vegetable glycerin infusion for the sweetener. And then I'll put in the flowers with it and just cook that whole baby up. It's so yummy. So good.
It's a great late night snack.
That's just before bed, right? He's like, yeah.
Dessert before dinner or after dinner.
That's it.
So you justify eating.
That's how. He's like, it's not sweet. It's medicine. It's medicine. So there you go. We have both capsules here. I'm going to shut that door. Jenny, will you shut that door for me? Since we're recording. So we've got here the chamomile one. And here is the cayenne pepper one. And so right there, I have 2 medicines ready to go. And as soon as I do the charcoal, notice I'm still waiting to do the charcoal because it's going to make a mess. We'll probably do a video on that later on, just on that one because it's going to be so messy. But I'll let you guys do it with different plates so you can have that to go with you today. But this is the very basic. If you want to know more, we will do a more in-depth class on how to formulate herbal capsules, not medicine, sorry, herbal capsules so you can use it at home. And if you would like to learn more too, you can also follow us on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you.